Good morning. We are working on framing up the interior walls in the first floor and laying out our bathroom, our pantry, our kitchen, our dining room, our living room, and our laundry room. And it's a lot slower of the process than I was hoping. Quite a few reasons for that. One is we got to make sure we have plumbing access in this wall for the bathroom. We're going to be having a shower over here and a toilet. And then the laundry room is going to be on the back side, so we got to have plumbing to go up over for the drain. We also got to remember we're going to be having our drain vents going up over and then reconnecting over there. But we don't just have plumbing in this wall. We got to run this wall all the way down the stairs, nice and straight. We also have a hand-hewn beam we got to incorporate in the process. And we got to make sure that we have a good wall. So I first was going with a 2x6 wall, and that didn't work out because it only gave me about 1.5 inches worth of material over here on this wall under that hand-hewn beam. So then we had to change it out for a 2x8 wall here, so that way we could have a 2x4 wall on the side of the stairs with this wall still being straight. And we couldn't move this wall over anymore because if we go over this way, we'd be more in line with that post, and under that post is a beam, and we can't be in line with the beam down below because we can't get our plumbing up through the beam for the bathroom and the laundry room. I mean, we could, but we'd be drilling holes through the beam, and that would be no bueno. That our wall is on this side of that beam, so that way we can get our plumbing in the wall. So that's been the big hiccup there. So it kind of slowed us down there a little bit. This wall, trying to make sure everything is nice and straight, working around the old stairs. This wall, I also got to switch. I was going to do a 2x4 wall. I'm going to do a 2x6 wall because we're going to have our vanity plumbing in this wall, and then Gina also wants a big mop sink in her pantry. So the plumbing for that's gonna have to be in this wall. We need to have a thicker wall so we can have our drain vents going up and connecting into the ceiling so that all of our drains are vented properly. So it's just a lot of figuring and calculating with the plumbing and electrical and water, and then the hand-hewn beams. We gotta figure that into it, and then they're not straight. Their hand-hewn beams are hand with a hand axe back in the day, and they're also done green, so you got the chops of the hand axe, but then it also, as they're drying, they're twisting a little bit, so you're not perfectly straight. You got some angles here and there. So we're just having to contend with a lot of stuff, which is fine. It's just a slower process. If you're used to building a brand new house, you can just build your walls, stand them up in place, everything is plumb and level, and you're good to go. With an older house, it's a slower process because most things are not straight, square, or level, or plumb. So you got to make everything work with what you have. But that's the fun part about the old house. Let's continue on building this 2x8 wall. We'll finish getting this framed in. We need another doorway going into our laundry room. Then we can finish up our closet wall. Then we can jump on this other wall. And then we can get our pantry framed in. I don't know how well it's going to show it on camera, but right there, that hand-hewn beam goes like this quite a bit. So that's going to be fun. And the beams do that all over the place. So when we're putting in new walls, we're contending with a lot of that stuff.
Do you want it touching my thighs?
All right, so now we can build our 2x8 wall this way.
Having these walls framed up, I really like it because I can see everything that we were envisioning. Just having the walls up, even though we can still walk through them, is really cool. I'm loving my linen closet, and now I just keep thinking of all the things I want to do with it. And then actually, I feel like having this support beam is kind of confusing my mind of exactly where the walls will be, so it'd be nice to have that wall up and put that wall in.
We're going to be leaving the beams exposed in the laundry room, living room, and sitting room, in between room. The bathroom, it'll be a sheetrock ceiling because it's the bathroom. We don't want these exposed, and there's a different floor up here. We're going to be able to run our plumbing up in here, so we'll have a sheetrock ceiling. But all the other ones will be exposed. We're going to be taking out the old flooring and putting in new. It'll look nice once it's all done. this 2x8 is wider than this 2x8. So if we keep everything flush on this side, we are level. If we flush it with that side, we are not level.
Now you're building walls that makes my laundry room look messy.
Right. All right, now we can frame in our door opening, and this wall will be done. Right on the money. I like it. Gina's running out to go look at bathroom surrounds and to get some inspiration for the bathroom. So we might be reconfiguring the bathroom, but the size of the bathroom is what it is, and there is no change in that. Grab it. like it. All right, so at some point, somebody cut out the support beam, the support post for that beam, put a window in, and just kind of set it up there and had it nailed to the siding, but it wasn't supporting anything, so I wanted to take it out. So now this way, we can end up putting a support back in where that should have been. Yeah, I'm glad we did that. All right, I'm gonna think about how I want to repair this, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue building this wall. I wanted to get that out though because I couldn't get in there and cut good if I had finished putting this wall in, but now I can do my repairs afterwards. So yeah, I'm gonna think about that for a minute.
How off is it going to be, you think?
Crazily off. I don't know why it's doing that. So what I'm trying to do right this minute is line this wall up with that wall. I'm trying to make everything straight, level, and plumb the best I can working with an old house, and it's been a struggle. All right, so I believe I gotta take this 2x4 down because that's messing up my line. We gotta figure out level, plumb, and all the things. So, like right now, this is out of level right there. So we are an inch out of plumb we're an inch out of plumb right there, and then all these are that way, but for some reason this is level-ish, but it's messing up my green line to come back down here in this corner. So I'm just trying to figure out all of that, because to make this post plumb, we gotta be right there to where, basically where the edge of that OSB is. But if I'm in line with that and keeping it kind of straight to down there, that 2x4 is cutting off my laser. All right, so we have two old houses here put into one, and both houses are out of square. So this house over here was built sometime in the 1800s. This house over here was brought in from somewhere else. It is a post and beam house that somebody took apart. So I don't know what year it was built. They rebuilt it, kind of post and beam, but also regular 2x4 construction. And this part of the house is also out of square. Nothing to do with this part of the house. So right now we're coming together with the two pieces meet, and we're trying to figure out how to make the wall, everything meets, look good. It's not square, but we got to make everything square-ish. So like the main concern, or my main point of where I want it to be square, is this corner, because we'll have a countertop here. So I want it to be square here, And if it goes out of square on this wall, not the end of the world, because we're going to have a countertop somewhere over here. We're going to have a doorway into the pantry. Then there's going to be something else, maybe a countertop, but it won't be connected in the corner. And then we're going to have our refrigerator. So if this is kicked out, that's fine. If we can keep this corner square, it'll be a lot better for our cabinets. So I just need to figure out now how to make that all work and keep everything plumb, because this original wall is not plumb. It's like an inch out. And then this post is super twisted. It's probably about an inch to an inch and a half twisted. So we got to figure that all out. We're going to be using a 2x6 wall here, so that way we can hide some of that in the wall. And the wall itself, the old wall, is 4 inches thick, and the beam above is at least 6 inches thick. So we have the room to make a 2x6 wall here. We just got to figure out how we want to do it first. That's what's been slowing us down this part of the project right now, is just getting everything to work with an old house that's not straight, plumb, level, square, or anything. So yeah, let's figure this out.
If we take more time on this part of it, get it as square as we can, it's going to make everything else, it should make everything else a lot easier. Trying to put in a shower, trying to put in cabinets, trying to put in all the things. So we're going to be fighting it on one end or the other. So we're just trying to figure that out. And it takes a little head scratching.
I was hoping my straight edge was longer, but it's only 8 feet. But I'm curious to see if I'm square there, where I kind of come across here and how we can make stuff work. So right around here is square. Okay, so I got to take off that 2x4 to figure this out. Now, perfect. I like that.
Nice.
All right, so that's going to be our wall for here. Let me get that screwed in place. Then we got to take off some of this blocking that we won't need anymore. We're going to continue our wall up until our doorway. All right, I like it right there. this post is way out of plumb, but it's staying in because it's supportive. So I'm just going to put up another one up next to it to straighten everything out, and then we'll have to do the same on that side.
That's level.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's plumb right there. That's a lot of plumb that post is. Now we got to cut this post out. We're going to be making a built-in area here for our refrigerator. So that way our refrigerator can be counter depth. And we're going to utilize it as our plumbing chase. So we're going to have like a 37-inch wide, 38-inch wide opening here. So that way our refrigerator can come in so it doesn't stick out past the counter depth. But we'll also have it in here opened. So that way if we ever need to access our plumbing, it's in here. So we'll have to build a wall later on back here to hide all of our plumbing, but I'll do that after I get the plumbing vents in, so that way when I'm doing all the plumbing I can work on both sides and not have an issue. But we'll get this side done. It'll be really nice to have like a little pocket to push the refrigerator in and get in there in the future to work. That's probably why they're crooked and they're not perfectly plumb, these posts, because they're notched and they got to go up and then in the bottom too. So that's why they're all leaning so bad, is in order to be able to get them in and then straighten them up. They can't straighten them up completely. All right, so this post is not plumb, and I couldn't cheat our wall here one way or the other anymore. So we have an inch reveal down there and 2 inches down there. 2x4 is 1.5 inches, so I need to straighten this out. The only way I can think of doing that is planing off a 1/2 inch of a 2x4 up high and tapering it to not taking off anything down low, putting that there, and then putting it in. That'll square off plumb up this corner. I don't want to take this out because it is structural and it would be a huge pain to replace it. So we're just gonna plane down a 2x6, put it in place, and hopefully that works. All right, that made a mess, but I think that's gonna do it. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that.
Why are you doing that?
So I can screw in up. I can't do a jack stud. We don't have enough width. would you look at that? That's where your refrigerator is gonna go.
I love it.
Just gotta finish closing this all in, making this back wall after we get our rough plumbing in.
Are you starting to see it all come together? The pantry, that will be the refrigerator. The pantry is pretty good size. I mean, I'm happy with that. We always had bigger pantries and we love to have that. And I have some really good ideas for this pantry. And then we'll have a nice kitchen stove, an island, a sink, dining room over here. It's really coming together. I mean, it's just studded walls, but we are so excited and very happy to be at this stage, because at some points when we were in here having to tear everything apart, we were wondering if we were ever going to be able to start building again.
All right, well, I still need to figure out how I want to strengthen up that support that was cut. That's been there for who knows how long. So it's not going to be going anywhere, but I need to figure that out. Best way to fix that. It's nice to see the pantry all framed in. I can't strap these ceilings yet because I need to run all of my plumbing for the upstairs and my vents before I strap the ceilings. This ceiling needs to get strapped. The bathroom ceiling needs to get strapped. These ceilings are not. We're actually going to be pulling up these rough cut boards and putting a different flooring in, and the hand hewn beams will be exposed. So we'll need to clean those up. We need to put a wall in right here. But I am actually going to go run out to the plumbing supply store and look to see what we can find for showers and vanities and kind of get a rough idea of what we want. So that way I can get an idea for rough plumbing. Because we got to figure out all that stuff so we can do rough plumbing. The house had a working bathroom when we were in here. 2 actually. Now it has none. So it'd be nice to get the bathrooms again. And electricity, we have no power in here other than extension cords. So yeah. It would be nice to have all that stuff operational again. So I'm going to go run out. So this is where we're going to end this video. Thanks for coming along on our farmhouse renovation journey with us. This is not what we were expecting to do when we bought this farm, but here we are. And now we got to get it livable so we can get over here, us and all of our livestock. So if you guys want to see that, keep following along the journey with us. All of your support and encouragement has been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.